If you want to be wealthy and happy for the rest of your life, then learn this lesson. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Through my own experience, I have discovered that income rarely rises far beyond personal development. Now, sometimes income may take a sudden lucky leap, but unless you grow to the level where it is, it will almost always fall back to where you are. Life has a strange way of working like that. If someone hands you $1 million, you had better become a millionaire quickly so you can keep the money. Otherwise, sooner or later, it will disappear. Someone once said, if you took all the money in the world and divided it equally among everyone, it would soon find its way back into the same pockets. Success is not something you chase. Success is something you attract. So instead of running after it, work on yourself. Work on personal development, because true happiness is not found in what you get. Happiness is found in what you become. Now, if you are excited and ready to change, let me give you 3 steps to begin a life change that can transform your life, your personality, your lifestyle. Everything can change. Here are the steps. Number 1, find out how things work. If you truly want to change your life, you need ideas. There is almost nothing an idea cannot change. And Schaff taught me that the major problem is never the problem itself. The major problem is the lack of an idea. In the beginning, I told Mr. Schaff, I don't have any money, he said. That's not the problem. Now, up until that point, I really thought it was. I was confused. But he said, no, the real problem is the lack of an idea on how to create money and wealth. It is not a lack of money. It is a lack of ideas. Because if you get the right ideas, you can change anything. Now, to get ideas, you need a constant study of discovering how things work. If you want to be successful, study success. If you want to be happy, study happiness. If for town, you want to be wealthy, study wealth. Do not leave it to chance. Make it a study. Some people go through life with their fingers crossed, hoping things will work out. But that will not do it. You must study the things that can transform your economic life, your social life, your spiritual life, and your personal life. Now, Schaff also said that when you discover something that works, put that information in your journal. Do not use your mind as a filing cabinet. Put it in your journal so you, Penty say, can do the next best thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Go over it again and again. And if you keep repeating it, if you keep reviewing it, then sure enough, one mysterious day, that idea will take root. It will begin to grow, and eventually it will show up in your bank account, in the way you dress, in your personality, and in your lifestyle. Now, if you are curious, let me give you 3 ways to discover how to change anything, any direction in life, any dimension of life. Here are 3 ways to find out how to change anything. Number 1 is to read. Every successful person I know and work with around the world is a good reader. Curiosity drives them to read. They have to know. So they read and 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 read, become self-educated. Standard education will give you standard results, and you can look at those results and decide if that is truly what you want. But if you want to go beyond that, then you must become self-educated. One way to learn is from your own experiences, but another powerful way to learn is from the experiences of other people. Just think about it. One book could save you 5 years. If you read it, did you know there are books on how to become stronger, more decisive, become a speaker, become a leader, make a greater impact on other people, and develop your personality? Did you know there are books written on all of that? Did you know that hundreds of successful people have written their stories in books explaining exactly how they did it, and still people do not read them? How do you explain that? Now, you do not have to read half the night, but write this down in your notes. 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day. Read something positive, something challenging, something inspirational, something instructional. At least 30 minutes every day. Become a good reader. Now, that is my opinion. Listen to the other lecturers. Listen to me, and then make up your own mind. Do not be a follower. Be a student. Here is the second way to discover how to change your life, and that is to listen. Get around successful people and listen. Now, you can also learn from unsuccessful people. Take notes on both the negative and the positive. Find out what poor people read and then do not read it. Right? That is valuable information. Learn from the negative. But you can also learn from the positive. Get around successful people. Listen to what they say. Listen to how they say it. Why see my TV home mate tone matters now. Here is some of the best advice I have for the whole evening. Poor people should take rich people out to dinner. And listen, that is some of the best advice I have got. But you are right. Poor people usually do not take rich people out to dinner. The average person says, "He is rich. Let him buy his own dinner. I am not spending my money." You are lucky if you can afford your own supper, let alone run around trying to find a rich person to feed. But if a person is not doing well, one of the first things they should do is find someone who is doing well and offer to buy them dinner. Spend $50, $60, even $80. Go all the way if you have to. Because if you can get a successful person to sit down, eat, and talk for 2 hours, they might drop ideas right into your lap, ideas that can change your life, multiply your income, double it, triple it, even multiply it by 5. But you are right. Poor people usually do not take rich people out to dinner. Now, here is the third way to discover how to change your life, and that is to observe. You can pick up a lot of ideas just by watching. Get around successful people and watch them. Here is why success leaves clues. Watch how the man shakes hands. Watch how the woman responds. People who do well repeat certain things over and over and over and over and over again. And if you are clever, you can pick them up. Watch everything. If a man is making $10, zero a month, I would watch the way he walks. Maybe that is part of it. Copy his funny little walk if you have to. Someone might say, "Well, that is a silly walk." You just say, "It is worth $10,000 a month. I do not have the money yet, but I have got the walk." It has got to start somewhere. What I ask of you tonight is to be different. Be unusual. Become a sharp observer of what is happening around you. You can pick up ideas that can begin changing your life as soon as tomorrow. Just become a more careful observer. Now remember, there are 2 ways to see. One is called sight, seeing with your eyes. The other is called insight, seeing with your mind. When you see with your eyes, you see things. But when you see with your mind, you see answers. Put both your eyes and your mind to work. And the best advice for developing both sight and insight is simple. Pay attention. Miss nothing. Wherever you are, be there. Excellent. Now, we have spent a little extra time on number 1 in personal development. Finding out how things work. But it matters that much. Finding out is everything. And I have given you 3 ways to do it. Now here is the second step to personal development. Number 1 was to find out how things work. Number 2 is this. Go to work. If there is one thing worth getting excited about, it is that. Get excited about your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. What could you make yourself do starting tomorrow that could change everything? There is no telling. And that is what makes it exciting. On any given day, you have the power to dramatically change the direction of your life. Now here is the key to discipline. Start with the small disciplines. Get excited about the little disciplines and move on them immediately, because those are the ones that lead to the big ones. You cannot handle the major challenges of life unless you first take on the smaller ones. Make a list of all the things you can do, and then get right to work on them. Discipline yourself in those areas for the results, for the strength, and for the strength. Practice, so that when life hands you a major challenge, you will be ready. You will have built the muscle. But if you do not handle the small things, you will never be able to handle the big ones. Here is something else life change requires. Self-motivation. Key phrase, self-motivation. I do not know why we even call it self-motivation. It is really the only kind there is. You have got to motivate yourself, and you do not want to hand that responsibility over to someone else and depend on them. To keep you going, a man says, if only someone would come along and turn me on. But what if they never show up? You need a better plan for your life than that. You must now take action on what you have found out. Do not let your learning stop at knowledge, or it will make you a fool. Let your learning lead to action, and it can make you wealthy. And there are many forms of wealth, I understand that. Not just money. Money is one of the smallest values of all. I know people with a great deal of money who are still incredibly poor. Now here is the third step to personal development. And this is where we wrap up personal development. Step number 3 is simply a caution. And throughout life, we all need little cautions. This one says, do not try to beat the system. Find out how it works. Work it, but do not try to beat it. Some people learn just enough to start slicing it, shading it, thinning it, cutting corners, and searching for cheap answers. Do not fall into that trap, because you will end up with a cheap life. Learn how it works at its best, and then do it that way. Even if it seems to take a little longer, do it right. Never compromise with what is right. So if I had the chance to speak with you tonight one-on-one, just you and me, I believe my personal advice to you would be this. Reach down deep inside yourself and bring out more of those remarkable human gifts. They are already there, waiting to be used. And then change whatever you want to change in your life. I challenge you to do that, because you can change. You never have to remain the same again after tonight, unless you choose to. Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that will change the direction of your life? That is a powerful question. What are you going to do beginning tomorrow that will truly make a difference? Because if you do not do something starting tomorrow, that creates a difference. Then guess what? Everything is going to stay the same. And if everything stays the same, then you can already predict what the next 5 years will look like. Just look at the last 5, because the next 5 will look just like the last 5 unless tomorrow becomes the day you change it all, or change a little, or change something, or choose not to change at all. It is your choice. You can do whatever you want. But it is powerful to know that on any day you choose, you can change your whole life.